The Rangers keep on winning. They defeated the Philadelphia Flyers 6-1. Great defense led to great offense. The defensemen, there was like what, like six, eight of them that had at least 1 point.
Yeah,
But
all
this
six
was
of them. Yeah.
tremendous, tremendous, Jason, tremendous performance. The Rangers, they're looking like a team again. This team, they're blocking shots. Um, they're doing a good job controlling the offensive zone, especially Panarin. I liked what I saw from yesterday. Keandre Miller, he scored a goal. I liked his post-game interview as well. Adam Fox, he had a goal as well. It was his
Yep.
third goal of the season. This was a collective team effort, and the media wants to know how all of a sudden why this team is progressing. I guess it's according to what they've been saying is one of those situations where they had to look at themselves in the mirror and they really had to regroup and play together. And so far, whatever happened is working for them, Jason. So they're on fire. They're back into the playoff conversation. So the Rangers, they're dealing. Igor Shesterkin, after they gave up that first goal,
Right.
it was pure dominance by the Rangers defense. And
Yes.
Igor Shesterkin, he was confident all the way, and we've seen this before from him.
And right, like you said, so the turnaround came when they made a couple of trades. They traded Truba and they brought in Borgen, who they paired with Miller. They brought in Kelly. They picked him up off waivers from the Kings. The guy who it's a good player with a good shot. And they brought in another defenseman off a trade, Vaki Nainen, as I can't pronounce his name, but he's a defenseman. And with those guys playing and with the rest of the team refocusing on the team's defense, then leading to offense, it's changed pretty much the whole season back to where they're now only a point out of the last wild card spot. I mean, not giving up as many odd man rushes, not as many chances, and it's leading to offense the other way for them, and they're scoring goals. And with Shizerkin, they're holding the lead, and over the last 10 games, there's 7 wins, no losses, and 3 overtime losses. They didn't play great in Montreal a couple of days ago or last week, but they still got a point. I mean, sometimes it happens, but overall, they put themselves back in a playoff, almost a playoff position. And there's a bunch of games left. We're not even in February yet, so we're gonna have to wait and see what goes on from here.
Yeah, if I were them, just continue to look at the tapes, see what's working, what's not working. There's always room for improvement, but I just like that they're controlling the offensive zone. They're moving in the right spots to put the puck in the net. But it's that defense, man. This is the kind of defense that I want to see from the Rangers. Be aggressive, be assertive, not turning the puck over. Slow the team's momentum, neutralize the offense. So just great performance by the Rangers overall, and not
Yeah,
and I leave it all in the hands of Igor Shesterkin because we know what he can do. So I'm glad the defensemen they stepped up and they did their part as well.
yeah. Like we said, each defenseman had at least a point last night, which is pretty impressive. Um, Again, it's really the defense leading to offense, and they've been using set lines now for a while now. There's been very few movement. It's pretty much been the same set lines. Um, Rempe came back from his suspension, which he got 8 games for, which was a lot in my opinion. But he settled down. He's not taking as many penalties. He scored a little bit. They match him with Estrom and Sam Carrick, so that's a good fourth line for them. A lot of energy, and of course they're big, so it's been working out so far again for the Rangers.
And the Rangers, they are better when Rempe is on the ice and when he scores. So hopefully he can keep this up, especially the way he played the other night. I'm forgetting the against the Senators. I like his
Right,
performance
against
against the
Ottawa.
Senators. That's the Rempe I want to see going. I want to see more often.
Right, we don't want him getting suspended because if he's too aggressive, then he's taking 5 minute penalties or penalties and he gets thrown out of the game. We don't want that either because that just changes the momentum of your team to the other team when you're on the power play for that much time. So you have to be smart about you know when to fight, when not to fight, when to throw a big hit, when not to throw a hit, or or let up as he's been doing. So let's hopefully he'll continue
He would have been perfect for old school hockey, but that's not the case anymore.
that. Yeah, they let them fight still. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
it's just that they're not just I would say that they're not as the punishments are more aggressive now.
right. That's what I was gonna say. They're more quick to suspend you now than they were probably in the old NHL. What we're talking about in the 80s and 90s and the first half of the 2000s. But at least for me anyway. But
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
guys like Scott Stevens can't play today. They can't. They
Well,
can't.
Scott Stevens would tell you all those hits were clean. You put your head down, he throws a hit. He didn't get thrown out for some of those hits, but it's subjective too. But yeah, I hear what you're saying though. No, I agree.
Yeah, but that's sports nowadays. Just like football and basketball, they're watering down the sport, make it like more um nicey touchy feeling kind of thing, not let it get away. But but when you leave it in the hands of the refs, it hurts the game. So
Well, it depends. Like in the NBA is a whole nother thing because there's always, like we said before, there's always the argument over, is it good defense or is it does the other team have a good offense? So are you going to call fouls? Are you going to, is it because in basketball the game's all in front of it's a parade to the free throw line. It's very boring. So I understand what you're saying though.
yeah, the NBA, if it were to me, I would put the NBA with the style of play of the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, where there was still
Yes,
physicality, but at the same
yes,
time, it wasn't over the top physicality.
right. Yeah, well, sometimes they let them play. So it depends on the refereeing to the officiating in both hockey and in the NHL. So it depends.
Well, damn, I didn't get to check the schedule of
Oh,
who's playing
I got
next.
it. They play the Avalanche on Sunday,
Good team, good team.
and then Tuesday they play Carolina. Also comes into Madison Square Garden. So two very good teams in the next two games for the Rangers at the Garden. So we'll have to wait and see. So those will be, see if they could beat them, then we're on to something.